Hi, welcome. I'm Simon,
And I'm Roy, and I'm helping Simon.
and we both do a lot of ministry, children's ministry, and particularly creating resources. And like you, we've been greatly challenged in this COVID season. And what we would love to think through is how do we think more creatively, more innovatively? And that's what this session is all about. This is a quick introduction video just to set the scene of what we're attempting to do, plus give you some of the pre-work that we know you're expected to do for an hour before the session. We are talking about, we've got quite a long title, I realize, the Big Red Dangerous COVID-19 Ministry Reset Button. Innovative thinking or innovation, creative thinking, and immeasurably more in children's ministry. And the immeasurably more obviously comes from Ephesians chapter 3. We want to think about not just how do we make it through this season, but how can we innovate and thrive in these difficult times? And there's a few things, I guess, that we've been thinking about, and we'll explore a little bit more of them. Obviously, for a lot of people, 2020 is one of those years they would probably prefer to forget. But as we think about a reset button, just like on your computer, particularly me, because I've got a PC, Roy has a Mac, so he never has to do this. But just from time to time, you get that blue screen of death, and you have to reset, start all over again, and go fresh. And I think that's where we're at. Einstein said this. He said, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. We're going to dig deeper in that in our session. But as you look at the Bible, you realize there are certain people that seem to understand their times. This is one of those well-known verses, the men of Issachar who understood their times and knew what Israel was meant to do. And I wonder whether we can be like that, where we understand the season that we're in and the opportunities that God has given us. And this one I love. Sing to the Lord a new song, all the earth. And for a generation, we've never seen the whole world kind of in a reset button situation like we do right now with COVID-19. So that's what we're exploring. So Roy, tell us a little bit more about what some of the pre-work we'd love you to do.
Yeah, one of the aspects of it is looking at the Bible. So spend about 20 minutes. These are two of my favorite stories. And do you want to put me on the screen there, Si, or what do you want to? Anyway, we've got two Bible stories here that are really, really great to look at. And they all come from the end of chapter 1 of Mark and the beginning of chapter 2. And Jesus finds himself with a roadblock, with a locked out, and it's interesting to see his response, and then the healing of the paralytic. And we want you to explore what these mean in terms of faith. And there's a couple of questions that you'll see there that will guide your thinking. And hopefully I'm praying that you'll see some things in some new ways maybe you haven't discovered before. And the second thing we want you to do is this idea of understanding the times. Like this reset time with COVID is a bit of a gift. Although we've been busy online, it is a gift to stop and take stock of where we are. And so here's a couple of things that might help you. And do we go back to the PowerPoint here? One is to mind map around this question. What's that question there, Si? How do you think, how do you hope things will look differently after this COVID-19 in your children's ministry? Do a bit of mind mapping. Something like this, where you can explore some ideas and just let your mind go in different areas of the children's ministry. Maybe this time has highlighted family interaction or empowering kids. I don't know. Do some thinking around there. The other thing we want you to do is this concept of asking some questions and not being satisfied with your first answer. So take a question like what's been most challenging in this COVID season? You might come up with an answer like deep connections. That's been the hardest thing. We've missed deep connections. Then ask the question why. Why have we missed deep connections? And then have an answer. And then ask why again to that answer. And then have another answer and say why to that, and keep going deeper. Don't be satisfied with your first answer. Keep going deeper with more whys. So they're two things. It might take 20 or 30 minutes to read the Bible and reflect on that, and also do some thinking about how you see this season. Si.
Yeah, thanks, Roy. And we also want to get to know you a little bit. And obviously that 1 hour that we have together would be a lot easier if we were face-to-face. It's a lot more complicated via Zoom. So we would love you just to spend 5 or 10 minutes and just give a very brief bio of your name, what you do in ministry, or if you have a few roles, what are they? And also some creative things or endeavors that you like, and email them to me. And then Roy and I can look at them before the session. We can pray for you. We can get to know you a little bit. And we think that will help the session to be a little bit more effective. We're really looking forward to being with you.
Yeah.
We want to push your thinking, push our thinking. We love creative things. We love the idea of thinking differently, thinking outside the box. We're going to give you some tools to do that. We're going to look at more of the Bible and explore what God has to say in this season about innovation and creativity. And out of this, we hope that the Lord will reveal some ideas that none of us have known before. And maybe this session will set you down a path or give you some ideas that will make a tremendous difference in the days, weeks, and years ahead. We have great expectations and look forward to being with you. So enjoy the preparation, and we'll catch you in the lecture session. Thank you.